You are listening to the CPA MOMS Podcast with Dawn Goldberg, CPA. This is episode number 184, an interview with Faith Adams about the self-assessment-driven continuing education courses and certifications offered by Illumeo. Welcome to the CPA MOMS Podcast, the podcast where busy female accountants who also happen to be moms like you get practical support and solutions you need to have it all: a successful career and a happy family. If you are looking for the solution to overwhelm and mom guilt, if you'd like to feel better and have more balance, as well as learn how to take back control of your life, you've come to the right place.
So I am thrilled to be able to interview Faith Adams. Faith Adams is with Illumeo. And if you are part of the CPA Moms community, you've probably heard us talk about Illumeo. We have put it in the newsletter. We've posted on Facebook. If you are a CPA and you need continuing professional education credits, as we all do, then you might be familiar with Illumeo, maybe not, which is why I wanted to have Faith on the podcast to, for lack of a better term, illuminate us on Illumeo. And so before we get talking about Illumeo, I love to be able to talk to working moms. And although Faith is not a CPA, I think it's really important for working moms to hear about how other working moms are handling the fact that they're a working mom. So welcome to the show, Faith.
Thank you so much for having me, Dawn. Thank you so much. I'm really excited and happy to be here.
Oh, great. Thank you. So, okay. So you have been with Illumeo for, you said, for 2 years, and you said your title is Manager of User Engagement. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. That's my title. And what happens in my main work domain, I would say, is to deal with the customers that we have. I mostly work on customer satisfaction, their problems, and all these things mostly. Okay. They are revolving all around the customers that we have.
Right. Customer satisfaction is key.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
especially
exactly.
in this era of, back in the day, we would have to physically go to continuing professional education courses. We would have to go to conferences, and we would have to go to different quote unquote events. And now yes, we just sit in front of our computer.
Yes, exactly. And, sometimes it becomes more challenging to keep that customer satisfaction if sitting, on the other side of the computer, not just face to face. So sometimes it gets really tricky and challenging as well.
Definitely. So we're going to talk about that, but I want to hear about you. Now, you're obviously, I said you're not a CPA, but you are a working mom, and you have a daughter.
Yes, exactly. I have a daughter, and she's 6.5. And I am a working lady, and I have been working from quite a long time now. I would say that my majors, they are in psychology, but I have been working in customer success and people management roles. This is something that I really like to do. And it's pure pleasure. And I really like to help people in any way that I can. Either it's customer success, whether it's any problem to handle, anything. So it's something that I really like to do.
Right. So tell me how it's been being a working mom. I mean, my children are grown, they're 26 and 29. And I love just being able to talk to other working moms, especially who have young children during the time of the pandemic. How has that been for you with a daughter 6.5? I'm assuming she's in kindergarten now.
Yes, exactly. Yes, she is. But, due to COVID and all the situations going on. So what I started was that I started homeschooling her. So, yeah, so that was another tricky part, I would say, working, then homeschooling my daughter, handling. So it was a little tricky. COVID has been a challenge for everyone, I would say, in every part of the world. It has been. It was quite a tough time, I would say. But we are just hoping that it ends soon. But it's been tough. It's been challenging, but it's so far good, I would say.
So are you going to be, once the restrictions lift, are you still going to homeschool her, or are you going to send her to school?
Maybe I'll send her to school. because it is another part that is necessary. If you talk about children, they need to socialize with
Mm.
people. And academics and psychology, I really focus on socializing, talking to people and everything. So that is something that I really want her to, I don't want her to homeschool all the time, but she needs to socialize, go out, have friends and everything. So yeah, I will be definitely not be continuing the homeschool.
That's interesting that you have a psychology background. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about it in terms of, they're saying that teenagers, young children, obviously adults as well, have been affected by the lack of interaction with
Yes,
others.
exactly.
And just, we're making the best of a difficult situation by being able to have play dates over Zoom or whatever coping mechanisms you have, but there is nothing that can replace that human contact, human interaction.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
because
exactly.
we are, as humans, a tribal society, right? We
yes,
get
exactly.
we get that connection.
Humans
we
are
get
a
that.
social animal, we say. Like humans are a social animal. Yeah. So we really need to socialize. We cannot just sit at home in front of the laptops, in front of the computers. We cannot stay like that all the time. So we really need to have.
Even if you're an introvert like me, I have loved.
I am not at all an introvert, I would say. I can relate that I might be ambivert. More
Okay.
like
Okay. Yeah, my husband and I are both introverts, and we've said, like, listen, the last 2 years for us have been amazing. we are like living our best lives, not like being able to say no to things. Like, no, I can't go to that party. Oh no, I can't go to this thing. We're just like, this is when they lift the restrictions, we're like, no, we have to go see people now. But no, it is super important with children that they do, whether they're introverts or extroverts or anything like that. It is important for their development to be.
Yes, exactly. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
So we're being a working mom with a 6.5-year-old daughter. Like I said, my kids are older, and I give my hat off to all of you mommies out there that are making it work. So for the audience, and myself included, I have to be honest with you, I've been a CPA for over 30 years. So I have had 30 plus years of continuing education credits. And
that's really nice.
Yeah. And until becoming part of CPA Moms, I had never heard of Illumeo. So can you tell me about Illumeo? Like, how long has it been around? What is the story of about the founder and how it was created?
Illumeo was founded back in 2016 by our CEO, John Cogan. And he's a very career on like accounting and finance professional, and many times CFO. The whole idea behind was to transform the whole CPE arena by bringing together compliance training, professional development, and they developed a quite good purpose-built LMS for the entire CFO organization.
What do you say? What does LMS mean?
Learning management system.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Illumeo itself is a purpose-built learning management system. And, it deals with the entire CFO organizations. The concept, and I would say that it still remains new, because most of the CPE providers, they just focus on content and CPE credits. I don't know about you, which platforms you were using. Illumeo, it pioneered in developing all-around learning management system for accounting CPE. Moving on, I would say that it has quite rich features. Offers more than 1,600 courses, like self-study CPE courses. We have up to 100 live webinars. We have over 25 CPE types.
Oh, wow.
That we support. Yeah.
So
but I'm really surprised that you haven't used Illumeo for now.
Yeah, no, with the company that I work for, there's a lot of internal CPE.
Right.
We have this one particular seminar that the whole company always goes to, and we get, I need 24 credits a year, and I get 8 of them going to this. But yeah, no, I had never heard of Illumeo until I became part of the CPA Moms. So when you say it has rich features, can you explain what that means?
By features, I would say we have enterprise-wide CPE compliance tracker that tracks all your activity, all your credit hours, we have a compliance tracker. Then we have personal and managerial assessment module. It's a very good feature, I would say, that we have, in which an individual can, assess their own progress. They can assess their own selves by choosing a benchmark and setting up their goal that, okay, they want to reach, let's say they are an HR person and they want to reach to a level of an HR manager. So what the platform do for them is that it gives you assessment, sort of a form. And what you have to do, you just have to fill it up according to your perception about yourself. And at the end, the platform, it gives you or recommends you some courses that you have to do. And they recommend you that, okay, if you want to go to an HR manager level, you have to complete these courses. It's an AI enabled course recommendation engine, I would say.
That's amazing. I love that. Yeah. And I love the idea of the self-assessment. It's like, here I am and here's where I want to be. And
yes,
we can help you get there with these suggested questions. So it's kind of like, when you go to college and you're like, okay, this is the degree I want. Yeah. And here's my strengths and here's my weaknesses. And then they're like, okay, well, you need to take 101 this, but you're already good in that. So you can take 201 or whatever it is.
Yes, exactly. And another thing in this is that there is a managed assessment as well. Your manager can assess you as well.
Oh, okay.
And he or she can add the courses for you in your development plan.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so in August of 2019, Illumeo was nominated the best overall CPE solution. So can you tell us more about how you're staying on the cutting edge in this highly competitive industry?
I would really appreciate that you brought this up. This is one among many awards that we have won. And we are really proud of it. So in fact, we have remained winner of Best Overall CPE Solution Award since 2019 from CPE Compare. And like I said earlier, we are essentially a CPE platform with a lot on offer at a price level which is extremely competitive, I would say. And it has powerful features that help our product to remain on top of any EdTech innovation ladder. And other than that, we have won awards like Most Promising Technology Solution Provider by CIO Review and Top 20 Innovators in EdTech by Technology Innovators. And we're also named as Best Value CPE Provider by the Crush Empire. And all these awards and recognition, move us deeply to remain ahead in whatever we do.
Right. No, that's quite an honor.
So, and we keep on adding to the platform, whether it's the learning resources or the professional development features. Illumeo LMS as a product has, I would say, matured, and we have kept on adding more and more features and learning resources. We are continuously adding up courses and everything. We have a leadership to remain the largest on-demand specialty training providers for accounting, audit, and corporate finance.
So how do you decide what to add? And are you just kind of keeping your ear to the industry and, researching the different topics that people seem to, because, something changes in the IRS tax code or something becomes this hot topic and everybody's clamoring to know more. So how does Illumeo stay on the cutting edge?
I would say that our platform, it's designed and developed by accounting and finance professionals with decades of industry experience. And on top of it, our instructors pool, they have over 280 of them. That's the largest among all that I would say. And this helps us build courses and events exploring new avenues like cryptocurrency, accounting, robotic, process automation, regularity updates, and many more. I would say that in 2021 alone, we published more than 300 courses.
More than 300?
And yes, exactly.
Wow.
And I think it's more than any other CPE provider.
Wow. So you said 280 instructors.
Yes, exactly.
That's amazing. Yeah. So how do you vet or choose the instructors? How does that work?
Actually, what we do is that we vet each instructor thoroughly to ensure they meet our high standards of quality for content and presentation. We enable our users to peer test and review all of their courses. This is something that we have on each of our course. Any user, they can review the course, they can ask the instructor a question right there. It's just underneath every single course, and the instructor will respond to them in just a few hours. And our instructors, they are leading practitioners and subject experts, I would say. On average, each has over 20 years of experience in his or her selected field, due to which it enables them to go beyond the curriculum to provide context tips and practical real world examples to help you better understand and apply the course content right away.
That's so important, because I've been to many, unfortunately, many training courses where, you're falling asleep. You're just throwing out, facts and just not, everybody learns differently. You have a psychology degree, so you understand that we all learn in different ways. You cannot teach in one way and expect everybody to absorb it. One person could be more like, you need examples. I remember in school, I did really, really well, but only because I rewrote everything in my own handwriting. And that's how my brain processes things. If you give me a book and I read it, I don't absorb it as much as if I write it and take notes on it. I'll literally remember.
Trust me, this is me. I do the same thing.
Isn't that funny?
I do the same thing.
You need good teachers. God love them, but a lot of accountants are not good teachers. They should not be teaching continuing education.
I really believe that this is definitely a challenging field, I would say. Doing a CPA, it's not at all easy. I'm not, but what I see and what I've observed, it is something, it's very challenging. And keeping the interest, it really matters. You should not make your students sleep.
Right, exactly. That's and to have teachers that have been vetted, it's not just because of their experience, because just because you have experience in a subject doesn't mean that you can present the subject well.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Does not mean that you should be teaching others that subject. You can work on that subject, but when you're teaching, you really do have to understand how different people's styles of learning and how to incorporate that, and then to have that feedback and to be able to ask questions and not just have this flat, a lot of the CPE will be, they'll send you a book, you read it, you fill out the quiz, and then you send it back in, and there is no interaction.
Yes, exactly. And I would just like to add a little bit of psychology here, is that you need to understand the psyche of the next person, I would say, or your students, what they want, what they're interested in. And you should then decide your teaching method, how you're going to teach them.
Yep.
Because first you have to understand the next person, if they're what interests them, how you can go with it. So you need to understand this point everywhere, I would say.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think if you are a mentor or a teacher, anytime that you need to okay, I've got all this knowledge now, how is the best way to impart this knowledge? And if it's with more than one person, you really do have to understand the subtle nuances.
Yes, exactly.
How somebody understands. That's really important.
True.
So what are the most popular courses right now, would you say, what are people signing up for now?
Our course and certifications library is very extensive, I would say, and with 75,000 plus users around the globe. And it's very hard to pick a few, because we have more than 1,600 plus courses, and I cannot say that these are our popular courses, but assessing popularity of courses by user ratings, our average course ratings are above 4 to 5 stars. This speaks, as well for the overall quality of the trainings. On the whole, I would say that our SOX, the audit skill training, internal audit, bookkeeping, ethics, Excel, data analysis, OD, and soft skills certifications and courses are among popular picks.
And I love that you have it all in one place, because I'm just so used to, I get the materials and we sign up for different things with the company. And I'm always just looking for tax because that's all I need my credits in. And but you have just such a broad range of
yes, we do have
different interests for people. This is going to sound like a silly question or maybe a complicated question, I don't know, but why would CPAs want to pay for CPE continuing education when there are so many free options? Now, I know a lot of accountants who are just looking for just to get it done. And I can be guilty of that. I just want to get like, oh my gosh, it's November and I've got till December 31st. Let me just do this quickly. So what is the benefit to really changing people's perceptions about going for the free CPE versus paying a very, very reasonable cost with Illumeo? But what is the benefit? Why do you think that CPAs would want to pay for CPE?
So let me tell you something very interesting here. It's that a few of our individual CPA subscribers and enterprise users from, we do have in our clientele some big names like Google, Cisco, Oracle, and they told us that they get free CPE trainings and that most of these free CPE trainings are typically limited to technical accounting and don't cover important topics like finance, treasury, risk analysis, internal audit, specialized Excel trainings, and many other areas, which make up majority of their global finance and accounting operations. So also most of the free resources are available as webinars, which are the least convenient since they're scheduled and people can always take an hour of prime time for training. And another thing that I would say is that plus they tend to cover limited topics. So people neither get the variety of topics or depth of study with free CPE courses. And Illumeo subscription, it takes you when you can get the best value for your bucks with literally unlimited CPE credits, access to over 1,600 on-demand CPE courses, up to 100 live webinars, and then CPE compliance monitor and some professional development tools that we have.
Right. So yeah, I mean, it goes back to you get what you pay for, right? So
yes,
if you're going for the free, and there's going to be plenty of people that are just going to want to just get it over with and do the free thing. But if you are really looking for that professional and personal development and you want to, like I know a lot of accountant moms, especially in our community, they're working moms and maybe they took a little bit of a break. Maybe they either stopped working and they're re-entering the workforce, or they worked part-time, their kids are older, they want to get back, working full-time and they want to get more up to speed. And there's a lot of things that can be very daunting to re-enter or to, increase your presence in your carear when things are changing at lightning speed. And it's almost like it becomes so overwhelming that accountant moms will be afraid to go further, or it'll stop them believing in their growth and in the opportunities because of the overwhelming amount of things that they think they need to know.
Yes, exactly. And, let me just relate it to CPA moms. Like, let's take members of CPA moms as an example, where some definitely they may be working from home, or maybe others have gone back to the offices. Most of them may have kids, like essentially families. You yourself, you do have a family to take care of and important work to do at your desk. So they cannot take out time for CP with providers who focus on live content, maybe sometimes, but not always. So Illumeo makes the learning and CP journey very flexible, and by offering different resources and on demand. So, working moms, they don't have to rush to their CPs and can take these courses, and they can simply take these courses and certifications at their convenience. And, also with built-in CP tracker, you are just a click away from knowing your CP progress.
Right. No, that's a really good point. The flexibility, that's exactly what accountant moms need.
Yes, definitely.
So I think you've touched upon this, but I just want to give you another chance. The question I was going to ask was, what's the benefit of taking CPE courses with Illumeo versus other products, even other paid products? We talked about like the free, you're going to get what you pay for. But
Yes, exactly. It says that everything has a cost.
yeah,
So I would say if someone is taking any free courses, or there any platform which is providing free courses or something like that, so it will be limited knowledge. But with Illumeo, I would say we have extensive courses, certifications, up to date information. And another part is that we are regularly updating our courses. And the best part is you can see the updated date, updated or reviewed date right under the course.
oh, so you can find out the newer ones.
Exactly. Yes,
Right.
exactly. Yes.
Right.
And we have a really good filtering process from which you can filter out whatever is of your interest from, because definitely we have more than 1,600 courses. So it will be very challenging or tricky to find your, type in every name and just find that course. That's really time taking, I would say. So we do have a filtering process where you can filter out. You can even choose the complexity of the course, whether you want it in intermediate level, whether you want it advanced. It's up to you. You just have to click. It will be filtered out, and you will be seeing those courses.
Oh,
so
that's great.
we do have some great features. As I discussed earlier about the assessment part. That is something although I'm not a CPA, but that's the most favorite part of, I really like that part of the platform.
That's amazing. I love that idea.
You can assess yourself, your
Yeah.
manager can assess you, and you can work on your improvement.
Right. I think that as accountants, we tend to gravitate towards more knowledge, right? It's the thing that, that we think adds value to our professional expansion in our careers and stuff like that. And I really like that idea. I never really thought about that. Like, okay, where am I at in these different areas? And then
Yes.
It's what I love about the self-assessment, and it is definitely beneficial to have the manager or somebody above you assess you. But what I like about the self-assessment is that nobody needs to know what you're working on if you don't want them to know. And you can just, get an honest evaluation of where you're at, and then you can work on those things that you think would add value to your career advancement.
Yes, exactly. And you can just simply identify your actual training needs by assessing yourself, or I would say, well, evaluating yourself. So this is something that's really good.
I like that a lot, because usually with CPE, you are having, like, I know, my bosses they'll be the one to say, oh, I think everybody should take this course. It's like almost like a one size fits all. We want everybody to take this, and there's electives, you can take this or whatever. And then they kind of give you like a a few choices that you can make. And from those choices, whatever. This is.
And for managers, I'm really sorry to cut you off as you brought this up. So I just wanted to share that for managers, they can even make groups on the platform. Like, okay, if group A has to take this course, group B has to take this course, and everything will be right there in front of them.
Nice. Oh, I didn't think about that too. That's a really good point about having groups. Like if you've got new employees and they all are kind of in the assessment, they all fall under the same thing. They could be taking it together. And then that's another thing. You can take it. You're obviously taking the course yourself, but then you've got, like you did in school, where you've got the help of other people, and you can talk about it and quote unquote do homework together if you wanted to.
Yes, it's going to be a combined study then.
Yeah. And again, we tie it back to the the interaction and how little that we've had any chance that we can interact with our peers, because some companies still do not require their employees to come into the office. We've been in the office for since I think of May of 2020. So we were essential workers here in New York, so we just stayed. But a lot of companies have not required it. So it is a way of learning and bonding and connecting with others. All right.
Yes,
so
definitely.
The last thing I'm going to ask you about or talk about is CPA Moms. And the reason that I had you on is that CPA Moms and Illumeo have had a special relationship. And we have an offer that offers the CPA Moms community the latest discounts. So can you speak to our relationship and what kind of discounts that our CPA Moms community members or people that are listening to the podcast can expect to see?
Yeah, definitely. So, since 2019, even like before I joined, so we have been working together since 2019, and we simply love CPA Moms team and members. We especially if being a mother, being a working woman, I really like what you do and share your passion of development and growth, and your franchisees and members who are already part of Illumeo platform. They put greater emphasis on learning, and this encourages to give more to your members. And if as you talked about discounts and everything, so it's for the CPA Moms members and the franchisees, they get 20% discount on our courses, annual CPA subscription, and even certification programs.
Okay. So 20% discount on everything.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So you're not paying per course. You get to, like right now, accountants can't even think about taking continuing education in the middle of tax season. But, there's those times of the year where we don't have anything going on. We have more free time, if you want to say it, put it in quotes, free time. And sometimes things just becomes easier. You're like, oh, I'm really interested in taking this area and doing that self-assessment and seeing, I have some blocks of time that are open, less busy time of the year. Now let me dive a little bit deeper into this particular thing. So
yes, exactly. It's a year-long subscription, and you can take the courses any time of the year you want to. And another good point I would say is that if there are people, who does not require their CPEs in a particular year, they say that they have fulfilled the requirements and everything is done. But what happens is that they can pause that subscription, and when they come back to us again asking for the subscription, we give them at the same price. We don't charge them more. We don't charge them any extra. We give them on the same price,
right?
Because they have been with us before, and it's just they have left for some reasons. Maybe they're not taking the courses. They don't need they don't need the renewal of their licenses. So whenever they're going to come back to us, we're going to give them at the same amount of same cost.
That's a really good point, because I was talking about how, as working like early on in my career, when my children were younger, I was working, and then I decided to stop working for 2 years. My daughter was in kindergarten, my son was in preschool, and I just decided I didn't want to miss out on certain things. And so I paused my CPA license. And then when I got went back to work, and then, reinstated it and had to start up again. That's a really good benefit.
Yes,
like
and another part is that you don't like all the previous progress, the completed courses, everything will be still there. We don't delete or we don't omit anything. It will be just there, right there. Right. Whenever you're gonna log in, you're gonna see everything right there.
It's all still there, so you didn't lose anything. So
yes,
your growth,
exactly.
You could pick up where you left off, or you could do a review, whatever you want to do.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, because, like I said, I'm saying it kind of joking, you illuminated us on Illumeo, but you really, I'm very, very impressed with what you're doing, and that you deserve all the awards, because you really are standing out in a sea of CPE providers. You are really making it more of a personalized approach to it. And I like the idea. A lot of big companies it's already built into, like, the big four accounting firms. It's already, your professional development is already built into you being an employee for them. And they have a lot of in-house training and a lot of professional development. But that's a tiny, tiny little fraction of the CPA world. Most of us don't have that, and we have to figure out how to develop ourselves professionally. And it's overwhelming. I always like one-stop shopping. Like, find me a store that has the things, most of the things that I want. Or, I like to go to a department store where the women's department isn't that massive. I like good choices, but not too many that's overwhelming. And I love that you have a lot of choices, but it really, like, you don't even know that you're interested in a certain area, or you're like, oh yeah, no, I know how to do Excel, but maybe, wow, maybe I could take a course in that and get a little bit, learn something that I don't even know. We don't know what we don't know. And when you have like a whole menu in front of you, that's exciting.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
You can choose whatever you want from it.
Exactly. You may not even realize that you wanted to take this course, but when it's available and it's part of your subscription, why not?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's no harm to take it.
Right.
It will just increase your knowledge. Yes, exactly. Yes, absolutely.
Totally. And that's what we're always looking for, that, because the more value that we can add as an accountant, the more that we will grow professionally, but the more confidence we have. And I just feel like the more confidence we have, the more options we have, especially as women. So.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much. No, thank you so much for having me and, illuminating people about Illumeo. Yeah. It was a pleasure talking to you, and it was a pleasure being here.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like what you heard, be sure to click subscribe on your podcast app so you never miss an episode. At CPA Moms, we pride ourselves on being the e-harmony of the accounting world, making it possible for business owners to have their accounting needs met by amazing CPAs that are moms just like you. Whether you are an accountant interested in growing your own solo mompreneur business, or perhaps you are looking for flexibility to work from home, or maybe you are looking to grow your current firm or team, CPA Moms has what you are looking for. Check us out at cpa-moms.com.